My dear students, a very happy morning to you. I welcome you all in today's e-lecture 11. Topic of today's e-lecture is biodiversity. Bio means life and diversity means variation. So basically we are going to study about variations of life in this e-lecture. After going through this e-lecture, you all will be able to understand biodiversity, type of biodiversity, measurement of biodiversity through alpha, beta and gamma diversity, and various benefits of biodiversity. The term biodiversity, also known as biological diversity, refers to the variety of life on Earth at all levels from genes to ecosystems and can encompass the evolutionary, ecological, and cultural processes that sustain life. Biodiversity includes not only species we consider as rare or endangered, but also every living things from humans to organisms such as microbes, fungi, and invertebrates. Biodiversity includes three main types. Diversity within the species is genetic biodiversity, between the species is species biodiversity, and between the ecosystem is ecosystem biodiversity. First, we discuss about genetic biodiversity. It refers to the variation among the genetic resources of the organisms. Every individual of a particular species differs from each other in their genetic constitution, that is, through genes. That is why every human looks different from each other. This may occur due to mutation, and this is the reason of the evolution of new species. Similarly, there are different varieties in the same species of rice, wheat, maize, barley, banana, and different colors of cows. In this picture, we see different kinds of banana. Some are green, some are yellow, some are red. So, this concludes genetic biodiversity. Species biodiversity. Species diversity refers to the variety of different life of a species found in a particular area. It is the biodiversity at the most basic level. It includes all the species ranging from plants to different microorganisms. It is measured by species richness. And a species richness is the number of species in the particular region, and species evenness. Species evenness is the number of individuals of given species. Greater the species richness means variety of species are present. We say biodiversity is also greater in that area. Ecological biodiversity. An ecosystem is a collection of living and non living organisms and their mutual interactions. Ecological biodiversity refers to the variations in the plants and animal species living together and connected by food chains and food webs. It is the diversity observed among the different ecosystems in a region. Example deserts, rainforest, mangroves, tundra, coral reef, etc. They all include ecological diversity. Various levels of measuring biodiversity are alpha biodiversity, beta, and gamma diversity. Alpha diversity refers to the number of species in a habitat or specific area. It can be called as a species richness. It is used to compare number of species in different communities or different areas. Beta biodiversity refers to the diversity of species between two habitats or region. To understand this, we take example of moss community. If the species of mosses change successively at higher elevations on a slope of a mountain, we say beta diversity is high. But if the slope is occupied by the same species of moss, beta diversity is low. Beta diversity can be calculated by this formula. X is the number of species. So number of species in habitat 1 minus common number of species in habitat 1 and 2 plus number of species in habitat 2 minus common number of species in habitat 1 and 2. Gamma diversity is the total diversity of an ecosystem. This is a species turnover rate with distance between sites of similar habitats. So let's explore how to measure biodiversity. So in this measurement table, we see there are 9 species present. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. In where three habitats are present, in habitat 1, we see 5 species are present. In habitat 2, there are 4 species. In habitat 3, there are tree species. So if we compare and if we want to know, if we want to measure alpha diversity, we compare all the species and we say what is alpha diversity? It is the average species diversity in a habitat or specific area. So we say for habitat 1, alpha biodiversity is 5 because 5 species are present. In habitat 2, this number is 4, and in habitat 3, this number is 3. If we talk about beta diversity, as beta diversity compares two habitats, so we'll compare habitat 1 versus habitat 2. So if we do this, how we calculate it? If we calculate with this formula, so we say total number of species in habitat 1. So this is 5 in this case, minus common species in habitat 1 and 2. So how many species are common? There are 2 species are common, plus X in species in habitat 2. So 4 species in habitat 2 are present, and minus again common species is 2. So this comes out 5. And if we calculate here, we try to eliminate the common species. So D and E, these are common species present in both the areas, and we count left the species. So A, B, C are the remaining species in habitat 1, 3 species, and F and G, 2 species in habitat 2 are present. So 3 and 2 comes out 5 again. So habitat 1 versus 3, if we compare, so it comes out 8 species because there is no common species between habitat 1 and 3. So we calculate all the species. If we compare habitat 2 versus habitat 3, we see only one species as common species and we calculate rest of the species. So it comes out as 5. As the gamma diversity is the total number of species present in the ecosystem, so we calculate all the species present here, and this number comes as 9. Now, this slides we talk about benefits. There are specific benefits to biodiversity that affect every one of us on this planet. An ecosystem is in perfect balance with a keystone species. If this species is removed, the balance will shift and ecosystem will suffer. For example, in the American West, ranchers killed wolves because they were harassing their livestock. So, with the wolf gone, mice flourished and overproduced. Mice are vectors for hantavirus. Soon, people in the area were infected with the virus as the mice spread into their buildings. So, we talk about various benefits of biodiversity. It is the soils. So, how soil is giving benefit. So, biodiversity includes not only the large plants and animals we see, but also microscopic bacteria, fungi, algae, and a host of tiny insects and invertebrates. These smaller organisms are the ones responsible for creating soil and maintaining the quality of soil. Worms are well known for conditioning soil by digging through and aerating it and providing nutrients from their castings or waste. Bacteria and fungi degrade organic material, which then further breaks down the soil where plants can use the nutrients. Water quality. The benefits of biodiversity include keeping water quality pure. In wetlands, plants will take up contaminants in water and process and purify the water. Shellfish, such as mollusks, take in nutrients from the water, thereby preventing a condition called eutrophication, which can cause a huge increase in organisms in the water that leads to oxygen depletion and mass die offs. If any species is removed from the food web of an ecosystem, the ecosystem can crash. And in the case of water quality, contaminants can remain and cause immense additional problems. Now we talk about waste removal. The biodiversity of microbes, fungi, and other smaller organisms is important in decomposing waste matter. Organic material in nature, such as leaves, logs, and twigs, and dead animals and insects, is all degraded and decomposed by the biodiversity of organisms in the ecosystem. It is a delicate balance in which certain insects of microbes perform a vital function in removing waste from the environment, making it cleaner and less ripe for the spread of disease. Now, pollination and seed dispersal, how it goes. Bees are not only the organisms responsible for pollinating plants and crops. In fact, birds, bats, and butterflies plays a vital role in spreading pollen and in dispersing seeds. Butterflies and hummingbirds, for instance, feed on nectar and can transport pollen from flower to flower. Birds and fruit bat eat the fruit and nuts from plants, then disperse the seeds inside through their fecal matter. Medicine. Many modern medicines incorporate natural ingredients from plants that are found in jungles or forests, notably the Amazon rainforest. There's a huge number of plant species used in modern medicine, somewhere around 50,000 to 70,000. Should any of these plants become extinct, medicinal cures would suffer. Examples of plants used in modern medicine include quinine from the cinchona tree in South America, used to treat malaria, Cortisone from Central American yams, which is a main ingredient in birth control pills, and Novocaine, which is derived from the coca plant and used as an anesthetic in dentistry. Some more examples as morphine is derived from opium poppy and used as an analgesic. Analgesic means pain reliever. Rezapine is obtained from Indian snake root, which is used to reduce high blood pressures. Now we talk about ecotourism. Awareness of biodiversity has recently led to a boom in ecotourism. Travel companies promote tours to aesthetic values places such as forest, countryside, etc., where tourists can go on river cruises, hike, bird watching, and enjoy nature without disturbing the ecosystem. Money from ecotourism goes back into the region and helps to preserve the diversity of plants and animals. Food and drinks. Biodiversity acts as a source of crops to compensate the increasing demand of food due to population increase. Development of new crops with better yield is a need of the hour. A wide range of industrial materials are derived directly from biological resources. These include buildings, materials, fibers, dyes, resins, gums, adhesives, rubbers, and oils. Now, natural treatment of pesticides. Approx $20 billion a year is spent worldwide on pesticides. Yet, parasites and predators existing in natural ecosystem provide an estimated 5 to 10 times this amount of pest control. Without the existence of natural enemies, crop losses by pest in agriculture and forestry would be catastrophic and cost of chemical pest controls would escalate enormously. A diverse group of microbes fix nitrogen from the atmosphere for use by crops and forest. Ethical and moral values. Ethical values related to biodiversity conservation are based on the importance of protecting all forms of life. All forms of life have the right to exist on Earth. Man is only a small part of the Earth's great family of species. Indian civilization has, over several generations, preserved nature through local traditions. This has been an important part of the ancient philosophy of many of our cultures. We have in our country a large number of sacred groves or dairies preserved by tribal people in several states. These sacred groves around ancient sacred sites and temples act as gene banks of wild plants. This was all about the today's e-lecture. We will continue biodiversity in the next e-lecture to learn about the threats and conservation of biodiversity. I would like to ask that have you ever noticed that the world is full of biodiversity around us? Whether you are at home in the lockdown period, you must have noticed different plants, insects, beautiful butterflies in your garden. Have you? When you go for a walk from the academic block of college to the hostel, you must be amazed with plenty of species of plants, various fruit trees, so many beautiful dancing peacocks, different birds, snakes sometimes, monitor lizards, mongoose, teether, butterflies. Give it a thought. Happy learning.